Hello, welcome one and all to another live webinar. We're just gonna take 2 more minutes, wait for our friends to log in and join us. In the meantime, sit back, relax, and enjoy your lunch if you're having hearing us over lunch. If you have questions at any point in time, just feel free to head to the question box and send your questions to us so we can have our speaker address it during the show. In the meantime, let's just take a few more minutes for our friends to join us and we'll get the session started. Hello once again, and thanks for joining us for another live webinar. This is your facilitator of the day. My name is Sri, and we are going to be covering identify, support, and resistance like a pro with free trading tools on Phillip MetaTrader 5. And in the studio, we have Lim Jun Kit, our strategist with Phillip Nova. And what will he be covering today? Junkit will be walking you through how you can easily identify support, resistance, and pivot levels on all contracts on Phillip MetaTrader 5 with just a click of a button. He will share how you can draw on technical analysis by industry experts from Trading Central, and with Trading Central trading tools that comes free with your Phillip MT5 platform. And you will also gain a deeper insight on how to conveniently use Acuity Signal Centre to follow and execute trade signals on a wide range of assets. Do stay tuned, and we will cover these points and some of the key outlines which we will be covering includes an introduction to Trading Central and the Equity Signal Center trading tools, both of which comes free with your Phillip MT5 platform, and guide on downloading the plugins, launching and navigating the trading tools, conveniently viewing support and resistance levels with Trading Central technical views, trading on free signals, uh, trading on free trade signals in simple steps, and how you can gain meaningful and deeper insights on economic events. Junkit is a strategist at Phillip Nova. His main area of expertise is in Forex with a focus on major pairs. As part of the Forex and Bullion desk, Junkit specializes in the business development of products and platforms to support the trading needs of customers. Before I hand the reins over to Junkit, I'm just going to do a quick poll. Can you hear me loud and clear? All right, looks like most of us can hear me loud and clear. Junkit, if you're all set to go, let me hand the reins over to you now to walk us through what you have in mind to share with us today.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Sri. Thank you very much for the very comprehensive introduction. And hi, a very good afternoon to all of you. And my name is Jinkit. Thank you so much for tuning in on a Friday lunchtime. And today we hope to speak to you about how you can identify support and resistance levels like a pro with some free trading tools that is available on your Phillip MetaTrader 5. Okay, before we begin, we'd like to go through briefly on this disclaimer that we have. Whatever information that we will cover today, it is purely for educational purposes only, and it does not constitute any investment advice because we do not take into account your personal investment objectives, financial situation, risk appetite, and in general your financial situation. So we do hope that through this seminar, through this online webinar, you are able to learn a bit more about some of these very useful and free trading tools that you can access on our Phillip MT5 platform. All right, so this is the outline for today's sharing session. I think Sri has already verbally went through some of these points. So essentially, we'll give you a broad overview of all the free trading tools that we have on Phillip MetaTrader 5. Then we will go through the very simple steps on how you can download them, these trading tools, as well as launching them on your trading platform MT5. Okay, after this portion, I will go through actually each and every one of these tools to show you what are the features and how you can harness the most out of these tools. Okay, so the first tool that we'd like to talk to you about is actually called the Signal Centre by Acuity. So let's say if you're an existing client already, or if you're part of our WhatsApp broadcast, you probably would have seen this on a regular basis, whereby we send out these daily trade signals for you. So these trade signals that you've been seeing, or you may have seen, they are actually provided by this provider called Acuity Signal Centre. Okay, and how you can access this tool on our platform is through this plugin that you can conveniently download onto your MT5. And essentially what it does is that it simplifies your decision-making process for you by giving you daily trade ideas using a combination of AI and human-led analysis. Okay, so this tool doesn't only draw on like AI, so it also has a team of professional and experienced technical analysts, behind the scenes to just look through the markets and then to give you their professional trading opinion, and then in the form of very transparent trade ideas that would be really supportive, even if you're a new trader or you're a experienced trader. So essentially, you are able to see many trade ideas every day from this trading tool. Okay, and also I realize many of us who are just trying out in this trading space, we may sometimes look for trade signals, and at times we would end up in places like Facebook group or Telegram channels. But at times we don't know where these signals are actually coming from. They just give you a few levels, some not even the complete levels. They just tell you when to enter, and you don't even know if these are reliable. Okay, so I just want to say at this point that all the trade signals that you see on the Acuity Signal Centre, they are all authorized and regulated by the UK Financial Conduct Authority. So the content that they pump up, they are accounted for. Okay, so because Signal Centre, they are based in UK, so of course they are regulated by the FCA in UK. All right, so the three very interesting features that I think would be really helpful for you to know about this tool is that firstly, it provides you very clear call to action. Okay, so each trade idea, they consist of very clear target levels. So they tell you when to enter, when to take profit, and as well as when to stop loss. Okay, aside from these important levels that you need to place an order, you would also see things like the confidence ratings, and you will receive continuous updates on how these trade ideas are performing. Okay, so that's the first one, clear call to action. Secondly, each of these trading ideas, they all have very transparent strategies behind them. So they don't only give the levels, they also tell you the rationale behind each of these trade ideas. And these are, of course, generated or written by the expert analyst behind Acuity Signal Centre. Okay, so through this, if you're an experienced trader, of course, if you read it, you'll be able to understand the rationale. Or if you are someone who's new, you can always just browse through this and you'll be able to pick up like how the professional technical analysts actually look at the chart, and you could read their daily commentaries on these levels. Okay. And thirdly, it is the performance monitoring feature of this tool, whereby each of these trade signal, after they've published, okay, you would be able to look back and track if they did profit, if they make a loss, or they simply just expired. Okay, so every trade idea is accounted for. You know exactly how they performed in the past. So by looking at the historical performance, you will also be able to make your own decision if you decide to follow these trade ideas by this provider. Okay, and that is the first tool that I will be talking about today. It is Signal Centre by Acuity. So secondly, we have a suite of trading tools by this provider called Trading Central. Okay, they're pretty well known. So the first part of the tool that we have under Trading Central is called the Trading Central Economic Insight. So with this tool, you are able to monitor, anticipate, and act on market-moving economic events. So basically, it has some actionable real-time data, the powerful impact and volatility analysis tools, and they also have some interactive charting that will enable you to identify and assess, how are the economic events are actually impacting the forex pairs. Okay, so essentially this is a economic calendar on steroids. Okay, so aside from ordinary data that you'll be able to draw from a traditional economic calendar, you are able to see a lot more insights with this tool. Okay, I'll be guiding you guys through how to use this tool and explore different data on this tool later on. Okay, the second tool under Trading Central, it is called the Trading Central Market Bus. So this is more applicable, I would say, to people who are performing fundamental analysis, especially if you're looking at share CFD, indices CFD, commodity CFD. So what Market Bus does is that it aggregates all the related news and publications online to a particular asset, and then it tabulates to you nicely to tell you, oh, at the current time or in the past 24 hours, what the market is actually talking about. Okay, so let's say you can look at just Meta share CFD, and then you click onto Meta, you'll be able to see basically all the top news regarding this stock, as well as the sentiment, the most discussed about topics about this. So it somehow sounds like a one-stop place for you to just go there and read up all about this particular company. Okay, and then essentially what this does is also it helps us solve this problem of infobesity, right? Because right now information is everywhere, like it's everywhere. So we don't even know some of this if they're reliable or whatnot. So this is a place where it gathers all the reliable news sources in one place and present to you in a very useful manner. Okay. And thirdly, we have this tool called the Trading Central Analyst View, or it is also known as the Technical Views. Basically, it is a plugin also that you can apply onto your charts on MT5 that uses their proprietary pattern recognition technique to constantly monitor the market to offer you some actionable trading plans based on their award-winning methodologies. Okay, so the Trading Central's global team of expert market technicians, they are always there to validate all this analytical output to ensure that only the best analysis is published to you. Okay, and also for investors looking for the next trade idea, this tool could really potentially give you some immediate positions at any time for the most liquid instruments globally. So essentially, any contract you have on our Phillip MT5, you are able to pull this tool on it, and then the levels are all covered on a daily basis. Okay, so if you already have an investment idea or a trade idea, you do your own technical analysis, this tool would also be a very useful second opinion coming from a team of professionals. So you can look at what people are talking about to somehow maybe to seek confluence or to validate your own analysis. Okay, so this is the rough, brief introduction of all these tools that we have. And secondly, the next portion, I'll be teaching how you can easily find where to download these tools, as well as how to download them. Okay, so the step to do this is very simple. So you can find these tools by going to our website, phillipnova.com.sg. So once you're on our main page, right, I'd like you to navigate to this tab up here, Platforms, Phillip MetaTrader 5 Suite. Okay. Right, so when you are on the web page for our MT5, so this is basically where you can read up all about our powerful MetaTrader 5. And if you scroll down further, you'll be able to see the key information about all these tools. All right, so Signal Centre by Acuity. So this is where you see the key information and the key features of this tool. If you scroll down, you see our Trading Central indicators, the one that I talk about. Of course, there are many more features that you can explore. And the market bus is also what I've talked about, okay, and the economic insights. All right, so this is where you can find information. And how do you download it? It is simply by clicking on all these buttons right here. So download Trading Central indicators, and then you are also able to download the Acuity Signal Centre. Okay. At this point, I'd just like to note that because we have two providers, Acuity Signal Centre and Trading Central. Acuity Signal Centre, there is one link to download this tool. But for Trading Central, since they are all from the same provider, you can just download the button. You can just download from one button. So basically, there is only one source for Trading Central indicators. With one download, you're able to access all the features. Okay, so just to note that you don't have to repeatedly download all of these Trading Central tools. All right. So let me go through a simple guide on how you can download Signal Centre, Acuity Centre. So by clicking on this, it should redirect you to a download user guide. Okay, so this is the user guide. Step one, basically you need to ensure that your Phillip MT5 or your MetaTrader 5 is connected to our Phillip Nova server. Okay, because as you know, Phillip MT5 itself is a platform, so there are many other brokers who are on this platform. But in order to access these tools, right now in Singapore, we are the first and only broker that offers this Acuity Signal Centre. So let's say if you're logged on to another broker, you won't be able to access this free tool. Okay, so once you've ensured that you're logged on to our server on MT5, you can proceed to the second step, which is by clicking on this button. Okay, if you click on this button, I mean, it will just download to your browser, and then you launch that download driver, and there should be a pop-up for the download, the installation process. Okay, so very simple. You click on next. They will ask you to confirm the location which you like to install. So normally this should be fine, and just click install. And yeah, there you go. You have successfully downloaded this trading tool, and all you have to do now is to restart your MT5 platform. Okay, that's all it takes. Okay, you download the file from the website, download here, one click, two click, in 3 clicks, I mean, you're done. Okay, and after you have finished installing this this plugin, you can find it in your MT5 navigator panel. Okay, under expert advisors. Okay, which I will be demonstrating to you right now. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this is our Phillip MetaTrader 5 platform. So a bit of recap or introduction for those of you who are not yet familiar. So this is a zero commission trading platform for Forex and CFDs. So CFDs, we have a wide range of CFDs from share CFD, indices CFD, and also commodity CFD. So we do have a wide range of contracts here that you can trade. But for today's sharing purpose, I wouldn't be guiding you on how to navigate around this platform, because today we are mainly talking about these additional plugins that you can use on this platform. Okay, so in the event you're very new to this platform, okay, we welcome you to go to our website. There's this portion under Trading 101 that you can find a comprehensive guides on how to navigate the basic features on MT5. Okay, but for today's sharing purpose, I will just show you how you can use the tools that I was talking about. Okay, so I think to start off, I think we need to first launch a chart. So what I have here is a euro dollar. So this really depends on like any chart. Okay, it doesn't matter what chart. So I'd like to first demonstrate to you how you can access Acuity Signal Centre trade idea. Okay, it is by going to your navigator panel right here. Okay, navigator panel, and you go to expert advisor. Okay, expert advisor. So once you have downloaded these two tools that I was talking about, right, you'll be able to see them under this expert advisor. So right now you see that we have Signal Centre Trade Ideas. We also have Trading Central. Okay. So for how you can launch this Signal Centre Trade Idea is by drag and drop. Okay, you click OK. So normally it would take a couple seconds to load depending on your connection and your computer speed. Okay, so this is Acuity Signal Centre. So what I have here, it is basically a demo version of this tool. Okay, so in order to access this full tool, you need to have a live account with us, which is, by the way, free to open. You can open an account with Phillip Nova for free, MT5 account, and you'll be access the full features. Okay, so for now, of course, I'm going to show you how you can access, like I'm going to show you what the full feature is like. So what I have here is another folder here, another link here, right? So this, if you have a live account with Phillip MT5, then you'll be able to access this full suite of data here, this full suite of trade signals. Okay, so let me go through with you how this goes about. So essentially, each tile that you see here, they represent one trading idea. Okay, as you can see from here, you have many different kind of asset classes. You have forex, indices, you have even some share CFD. Okay, so the reason now you are only seeing so few. This is, by the way, quite few because like I bring it back to the point that I was mentioning earlier. Acuity Signal Centre, they are operated or they are headquartered in UK. So normally we would receive the first round of trade ideas when the European market open, which is typically around like 2 to 3 p.m. Singapore time. So at that time, then you will start seeing a flow of fresh trading ideas for the day. Okay, so once that's out of the way, we can just go through some basic features here. So right now we are looking at it in a just this tile view. Okay, you have another option to view it in this list view. Okay, list view, and then you are also able to do some setting. Here is a setting. By the way, this is not a full feature because I'm showing on a browser. So with the full thing, you should be launching it within the MT5 platform. Okay. So by the way, just to share that you are able to launch this tool in a separate window or as in a chart. So what you are seeing right here, right? So I have launched this as a separate window. Okay, as a separate window. You can also choose to display this this tool in the chart window itself. Okay, so my personal preference, of course, I choose for it to be in a separate window for easier viewing. So that is what this button is for. Okay, and also you are able to filter them based on this confidence level. This confidence level, you are able to filter them. Okay, and then you are also able to choose the asset classes that you like to see. So FX, commodities, indices, stocks, and yeah, so these are the asset classes that we have on our platform. You are also able to sort all these trade ideas based on the status. Okay, and lastly, you are able to toggle between English and Mandarin. So good news for those who are more familiar with Mandarin, you are able to switch this tool to Mandarin and everything will be in Mandarin. Okay, so a reminder again, this is a restricted access on MT5 demo. So let's say if you're on a live account, you'll be able to see all the trade ideas with all the levels listed out. Okay. So let me go through some of this detail that you can see here, like what are all these columns about. Firstly, there's a market, so basically it tells you what asset that you're looking at. And secondly, direction, it tells you buy or sell, basically the direction of the trade that they are advocating for, right? And after that, they also tell you what is the entry price, target price, stop price, and also the duration. And this duration, basically there are two types. So there's one type of duration which they term it as intraday. So basically, let's say a trade idea that's published early in the morning or sometime in afternoon, it would expire sometime in midnight Singapore time. So it is like within that trading day. Okay. So there are also another type of duration which is called short term. So from what we have noticed, this short term, it tends to be more on share CFD trade ideas. So short term would range from a few days up to a few weeks. So this is really a case by case basis. Okay, and after that, you also have confidence level. So what does the confidence level mean? So basically, each of these trade ideas, right, they are generated by individual technical analysts. Okay, so this confidence level actually takes into consideration a few metrics, and one of it is based on the performance of the person, of the technical analyst that's been generating this trade signals. So they would be taking, their past performance, like maybe the past 10 times to draw to the success rate of the past few times, and then they would generate this confidence level. So that's part of it. So aside from that, they of course also have taken into consideration things like the strength of the technical setup. So let's say it's like a very obvious technical setup, like let's say head and shoulders, something that's very firm, they're very confident about it. Therefore, it would help to improve the confidence level as well. Okay, and here of course you have the status. So buy limit, buy stop, sell limit, all that you are able to see from here. Okay, so for now, let's zoom into a particular trade signal. So you can zoom in by just clicking on it. Then here you have the full screen of just one trade signal. Okay, so right now what we are seeing here is a trade signal on the New Zealand dollar USD currency pair, and they are telling you that the short-term news sentiment, it is actually pretty positive. Okay, it's 100% bullish. You are able to see the entry level, the target prices, as well as stop loss prices, and as well as the confidence level here. Okay. So right now, may I direct your attention to this this chart on the left first, because this is a buy limit order, right? Personally, I find that the way that this tool presents the different type of pending orders, they are really intuitive and it's very easy to understand. So for those who are just starting, you know, what is a buy limit, what is a buy stop, it may be very confusing to you. But what you're seeing here, they are telling you it is a buy limit. So just by looking at it, you would know that a buy limit is setting an entry price at a price that is lower than the market price. Okay, so price is currently up here. They're advocating that if the price dips to this entry level at 0.61, it should be a buy signal. Okay, and then therefore they are expecting it to rebound to the target one at 0.6250. Okay, so it is a very intuitive graphical representation of different kind of trade ideas or different kind of pending orders. So I think this would be really helpful for those of you who are just starting to learn about this. Okay, so next up, I'd like to share with you on the dates. You know, so every trade idea here, when they publish, they tell exactly when it was published and when it will expire. Okay, unlike like maybe if you go to other sources of trade signals, they just give you some signals and then you don't even know when this was published, when this will expire, when it will no longer be valid. So right here they tell you when it was published, they will remain valid until the expiry date that they have here. Okay, so right now you see here it is published on 16 because this is a trade idea from yesterday. So sometime around 2 to 3 p.m. Singapore time today, you'll be able to see a fresh round of trade ideas here. Okay, and also if you look at the timing here, it is UTC plus 2. So basically this is a timing that is the same as our MT5 timing. So MT5 timing is also UTC plus 2. So just be aware that, you know, the timing on this plugin and the MT5, they are synchronized. Okay, they are not local time, they are UTC plus 2. All right, moving on. Remember I was telling that each of these trade ideas, they come with a set of strategies or explanation behind them. Okay, so according to this trade signal, they tell you that the previous support was around the 0.6150. Okay, and the previous resistance was around 0.62. Okay, so they have told you the support and resistance levels, and therefore they are recommending the entry and take profit levels around these levels as well. Okay, and then they also tell you, this was as of yesterday, that the New Zealand dollar, USD dollar, the price action was indecisive, and then it has resulted in a sideways congestion on the intraday chart. Okay, it also tells you that the short-term bullish momentum has stalled, and also the dips will continue to attract buyers. So it is saying that the risk-reward ratio would be poor if you're looking to buy now. So therefore, they're advocating that if the price dips a bit lower, therefore it would be a more conducive price level for you to jump in. Okay, so next up, you are also able to see some of the next volatility events for this particular currency pair, as well as additional support and resistance levels here. Okay, so at this point, I just want to share that you know, risk management is very important in trading, right? So there is this very important concept called the risk-reward ratio, and in all the trade ideas that they give out, you know, they take into risk-reward ratio. So what you can see here, you're looking at the green portion. So this is the reward portion, and the red portion is the risk portion. So the risk reward ratio that they are working on will never be anything riskier than a risk to reward ratio of 1 to 2. So for every one part of risk that you're taking, you're looking at least 2 to 3 part of reward. Okay, so because it doesn't make sense that you're risking $200 just for a profit of $100, right? So in the long run, it doesn't work out that way. So what they are doing here is you are risking, you are at least looking at $200 of profit if you're risking $100. So that's just an explanation of the risk reward ratio lah. So they do take into consideration that. Okay. So now that you have seen all these levels here, so what to do? Like, how are you supposed to follow these three ideas? Okay. So if you have a live account and you have downloaded this, the process is very simple. So let me hop back to my EA right here. So let's say we open one signal that is available for you to view. Okay, so this is what we have. So if you'd like to, perhaps I get another example. So let's say this is a share CFD that we have. So now that you have seen all the levels here, and you like to place a trade based on this signal, right? So you notice this blue button right here, this trade now button. Okay, so you click on it. There will be a order ticket here. So basically, it has really put in all the information that you would need in order to initiate a trade. It has input for you. It is a pending order. It is a buy stop order, the entry price, the stop loss price, the take profit price. Okay, and it also included the expiration date and time for you. So let's say if you've put in this pending order already, after this particular time, if the entry price doesn't hit, right, then this pending order will automatically be cancelled. Okay, so at this point, the only decision you have to make is the volume which you would like to trade. Okay, so of course, what they have automatically put here is the minimum tradable volume. For risk management purposes, I mean, in case you accidentally press a button to place a trade, at least it is a very minimum volume. Okay, so depending on your position size, your trading plan, so you are to decide what volume that you would like to trade for this. And once you have made sure that everything is okay, you simply have to place a trade here by clicking place. So right now, I'm not able to demonstrate to you because this is a demo account, so it doesn't offer that feature. So if you're having a live account, if you place a trade here, once you've clicked the trade here, your pending order would automatically appear in your MT5 platform. So it should come down here as a normal pending order that, let's say if you just put it straight away from MT5, it will appear the same way. Okay, just that it already has all the levels input for you nicely. Okay, so that is the introduction to Acuity Signal Centre. And just to bring back one point that I was telling just now, that you are able to monitor the performance of all trading signals, right? So you come back to this main page on the list view. If you scroll down, okay, you are able to see the historical performance of all these trade signals. So you can see that there are some that expired, some that closed for a profit, some that are closed for a loss. So you would definitely notice quite many that are expired, because they're all pending orders. So it is not a guarantee that a pending order, the entry would be met. So in the event that the prices levels are not met by the expiration date, it will be deemed as expired. Okay, so from here you can look through on your own to see the historical performance. Okay, at least you know the gauge of the effectiveness of these tools. Okay. All right, so next up, I'd like to bring you to another tool on MT5, which is the Acuity, which is the Trading Central indicators. Okay, so remember I was talking about this Trading Central Analyst View. You can find that tool under Indicators. Go on Indicators, Trading Central, you expand on it, Analyst Views. Okay, you just simply drag and drop on any chart that you like, on any time frame. Okay, here you go. Right, so this is the Trading Central analyst views on Euro Dollar 1 hourly chart. Okay, so perhaps just let me go through this chart setup here, the different lines here. So on the top, you can read that Trading Central preference is right. So definitely they have a more bullish view on this currency pair for in the hourly chart. So you would notice three different kind of lines. The first is the pivot level in the blue, and you would see the red line, which is the support lines, and you would also see the green line, which is the resistance line. Okay, so the pivot level here, they are not the pivot level, or rather the pivot point that you would normally learn to calculate in technical analysis. So normally, if you Google pivot point calculation, you would have a formula that's out. So this is not that kind of pivot level. So this pivot level, it takes into consideration many things like the strength of the technical setup, the momentum, the market sentiment. And if prices go above this pivot level, they would deem that, okay, the trend is more to the bullish side. Okay, if the prices is below this pivot level, then the bearish, the bias would be more of like a bearish. Okay, so you're able to see like so basically it tells you the target that you could look for lah. Okay, and this is if you zoom out on the chart, you'll be able to also relate on why certain levels are drawn at certain places. So because these are like historical support and resistance levels, and these are drawn by the professionals. So therefore, we have the title of today's webinar is how you can easily spot resistance and support levels like a pro with some free trading tools on MT5. So this is a tool that we've been talking about. All right. So with a drag and drop of a button, you are able to just spot all these different levels on all of the contracts. Okay. And aside from the levels, of course, it also tells you gives you a verbal explanation. So things like the sentiment, the comment that they have is like further advanced, they believe, and their preference is for long position above 1.06 with targets at the respective resistance levels. And then of course, they would have an alternate scenario where if the price is below 1.06, then they will look for further downside with 1.0575 and the other level as a target. Okay, and aside from that, they also tell you a brief comment to say that the RSI is bullish and therefore it calls for further advance. Okay, and you can also see that the date in which this was released is really recent. Okay, so this is 17th of March and 12:14. So this was just like released less than half an hour ago. Okay, so by this is Singapore time. Okay, so depending on the time frame that you load it on, so let's say hourly, we jump to daily. Okay, so the daily one, you would see that the view is different. Okay, the view is different. So on the daily, it has a more bearish bias, and they also have an explanation here based on the daily chart. Okay, so feel free to play around with this and drag onto any chart that you like to look at. You'll be able to spot all these levels very conveniently without having to draw your own lines. Okay, so I think this would be really useful for those of us who don't have too much time to draw your own lines and you just like to seek some expert opinions. So this tool is the correct tool for you. Okay, so this is one of the tools. So let me remove this. You can remove this by a right click on this window here, delete indicators window. Okay, so there you have it. The tool has been removed. Okay, the next tool that I want to share to you is the economic insight. Okay, so you can also find the other tools under the expert advisors tab, Trading Central. Okay, similarly, drag and drop to launch any trading tools. Give it a couple seconds. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, once you have launched that tool, you'd be able to see a pop-up window right here. Okay, so let me just maximize this for your viewing. And what I'll go through today is actually the second and third tab here. So do bear in mind that once you've launched this, there's 3 tabs on top, on the top left corner. So the more useful ones we would say is the economic insight at the center, as well as the third tab here, which is the TC Market Bus, which I'll go through briefly. Okay, so the first tool that we have here, the Trading Central Economic Insight. Like I mentioned earlier, so this is an economic calendar with a lot more features and a lot more analysis for you. Okay, so there are a few things that, or that rather, there are a few ways that you could customize your viewing experience. Firstly, it is by going on this thing here. All right, so you can just pull it across to see different options now. So let's say I've put this, it shows today. I'm only looking at the events, economic events for today. Okay, so right here you can see that, oh, today there's this Michigan consumer sentiment data releasing. There are also the EU, the Eurozone area CPI data, CPI final. Okay, and then you also see things like, the inflation rate, core inflation rate. Okay, so these are, the basic features. So you can, of course, change around with the time that you want to look at, tomorrow, this week, next week, or this month. So it really depends on what you want to look at, right? So for this purpose, maybe we just go to the default, which is recent and next. All right, you can see the recent data and then the next data. All right. Aside from that, if you like to do some customized period, you could just click on this button here. Just go onto the calendar and then just select a specific date. Okay, so what you have here is like the time frame from what date to what date, what are the events that that is available. Okay, so back to the recent and next. All right. Okay, right. Of course, you are able to change the different kind of time zone here. So what we have here is the GMT +8 in Singapore. Right. You are also able to set some filter according to the importance level of events that you want to look at. So what I have selected here is events that are medium to high importance. Okay, and also you can choose the event type as well as the countries that you want to look at. So right here, what I have is mostly the G7 and the EU countries. So mainly, if you're looking at major pairs, I think these countries should cover all the events that you need to see. Okay. All right. So to zoom in into the actual stats that you can look at here. So let's say we find one that is more famous. Okay. So we can look at this inflation rate year-on-year final for the EU, right? So if you just click on it, right away it gives you an explanation of this particular economic event. Okay, so I think this is both insightful as well as educational. For every event, you just click on it, you are able to see the basically the explanation. So I think with enough time, if you've seen enough of all these, you'll be able to pick up what are this inflation, or what are these data about. Okay, so it gives you an explanation here, and just like any other economic calendar, it tells you the forecasted value as well as the previous value. Okay, then of course the stats or the insights that they give, it's deeper than this. They provide what is beyond what you see here. So the first thing that you can do is by going to the event chart here. So you see there are a few buttons, right? So we can click on the event chart. Okay, so there are 4 tabs here. The first tab that is called the event chart, it shows you the actual versus the forecasted figure for the past 1 year or so. Okay, so just at one glance, in a very graphical illustration, you know that, like, let's say in the past week, in the past month, the actual figure is actually higher than the forecasted figure, and then in January, the actual figure is actually meeting the forecast figure. Okay, some insights of past historical data for you to see. So the next one would be a price chart. Okay, so this one, what you're looking at here, so let's say you can look at the impact of this particular economic event on a currency pair. So we go with the popular euro dollar. Okay, So this is a price chart, of course, of euro dollar, and each of these diamond that you see here, right, they represent the release of this economic event. Okay, so you can just look back and to see one glance. So after this release, okay, which if you hover your cursor over, you'll be able to see that the actual is lower than the forecast. Okay, then how did the price react? Okay, so you could just hover to any of this event, then you'll be able to see how the price react after the release of the event. Okay, so a direct illustration of the impact of the prices on the economic event. Okay, and next up, you can also see gauge the past events based on the volatility that it has on the currency pair. So you are, of course, able to choose. So what you are seeing here is the historical impact of this event on the euro dollar 1 hour after the event. Okay, of course, you can choose to see 30 minutes after the event or 4 hours after the event, but I'll just put it at 1 hour after the event. Okay, so you are able to see historically 1 hour after this event, the euro dollar is actually 50% bullish and 50% bearish. So here we are measuring for the past 1 year, right? So 50% of the time after this release, right, the prices were actually bullish, and the other 50% is of course the prices went down. Okay, and then they also measure for you based on the measure volatility for you based on the average range after the event. Okay, so this is measured in the TR, which is the average true range. Okay, so they've measured the volatility to be 22.97 pips 1 hour after the event. Well, of course, if you change it to different time frame, so you're looking at 4 hours after that, and you would be seeing different different stats here. Okay, so depending on what time frame that you're trading on, you'd be playing around with these different selections. Okay, and lastly, what we have here is the impact of the prices after the release. Okay, I think this last tab here, it gives you a more micro perspective on the price. So it actually zooms into you in a very small time frame. So this is 5 minutes. You're able to see 4 hours after the event, right when it was released, until 4 hours later, the prices, how did they move throughout this time? Okay, so this is the most recent event, of course. If you want to look at the previous event, you just click on previous event. You would know that how the prices play out, and even the previous event, you would know how did the price play out. Okay, so what I say is that this provides you some very straight to the point insights that you like to find out when you're trading around these economic calendars. You don't have to go back to your chart and manually plot when this was released last time and how did the price react after that. You can look at all this information with just this tool very conveniently. Okay. So of course, this is the Trading Central Economic Insight. We of course do encourage you to access this tool for free. So for Trading Central tools, anyone, let's say if you're a demo account or you're a live account, you're able to access the full features of the Trading Central trading tools. Okay, so do feel free to experiment this, and we hope that we believe that this would be a great addition to your trading setup. Okay, and the final tool that I want to talk about today is the Trading Central Market Bus. Okay, so Trading Central Market Bus. So once you have launched, you would notice that there is this theme right here that is put as Phillip Nova. So of course, this tool here, it offers like many different coverage on different kind of assets. But what we have put here is a watch list for Phillip Nova that only includes all the contracts that you can trade on Phillip Nova. Okay, so it does seem like it is lagging a little bit. Let me do a refresh. Sometimes this happens. So what you have to do in such scenario is that you could drag and drop again, try to relaunch the tool. And remember, go to the third tab here, which is the TC market bus. Okay, it does seem like it is reacting a little bit slow today. Not sure if it's the connection issue or what, but we'll be sure to check on this afterwards. But nonetheless, I think this doesn't stop us from demonstrating to you how it actually works. So perhaps we could go back to our slide here. Okay, so basically, hold on, I think I could just do one real quick. So I was talking about how you can go onto our website, and there's this library of information that you could go. So let's say from here, you could go to Training 101 on our website. And then at your own free time, you are able to find out how this tool works, okay, with these free videos that we have here. Okay, so basically what we have done previously was a video of this market bus. So I think perhaps I could just stream this video. So once you have launched the trading tool, the market bus, you should see many bubbles right here. Okay, so each of these bubbles, what they mean is actually a single, a particular asset. So right now you see, okay, so basically the bigger the bubbles, the more buzzing it is. Okay, that means there are more publications around this asset at in the past 24 hours. Okay, so if you move on, so let's say if you just hover around all these bubbles, right, you're able to see how many publications that I have in the past 24 hours. Okay, and basically the more the publication, the more buzzing it is. That means people in the market, they are talking about this. Okay, so it may represent opportunities for you. Okay, so this is a really good tool for you to gauge the interest on the different assets. Okay, so let's say you have you have come to this bubble. Okay, so you like to zoom in to one particular asset. Okay, you could just click on the button or just click on the bubble. Then you'll be directed to this page right here, which it gives you firstly, it tells you, of course, what asset you're looking at, as well as the price at the current moment. Okay, and the next thing I like to direct your attention to is the news feed on your right. So this is an aggregation of all the relevant news that are currently published online. So they would gather, like basically they would screen through the internet to look for reliable and valid sources of news regarding this Amazon. Okay, and they would display it for you right there. Okay, so at one glance, you should be able to see what people are talking about pertaining to this stock. Okay, as well as on the left side here, you look at my cursor here, it says the most discussed topics. So basically it summarizes for you, out of all this the news that you have out there, what people are talking about. Okay, so you see that here they have like ownership increase, help, initiate positive, and price target increase. So in recent times, we know that in the tech sector there's been a lot of layoff. Okay, a lot of price target reduce, and like people reducing price for the products and all that. So if you are to go to market bus right now, you are able to see all that titles out there. So let's say you go to Meta tab, then you'll be able to see like the staff layoff and all that stuff. Okay, so it really just gives you a glance of what is happening to all these shares at the moment. Okay, of course you are also able to see the news volume. So they have this gauge here to tell you, if it's really buzzing. So right now what we see here is the average the news volume in the past 24 hours for Amazon. In this screenshot is average. So in certain time, let's say for the past 1 day something happened, like a lot of news about it, you will see this meter actually going more to the right, where it shows you that it is buzzing. It is more buzzing than average. Okay, and next time you can also see the split of all the publications that they have found. So split, it means that it tells you how many percent of the news they are on social media and how many percent of the news they are from like news sources. Okay, and then lastly, you also have the orientation where they tell you the sentiment of this stock currently. Okay, so it can be more positive, more negative. It depends on the particular stock they're looking at. Okay, still no luck in it loading today. I shall be checking on this afterwards, but this normally doesn't happen. Like normally it just loads up very smoothly. Okay, so I think with that, I'd encourage you guys to download all these tools and to experiment on yourself. And in the meantime, I think we can go through some popularly asked questions. Okay, so the first one that I get asked is Signal Centre or the other trading tools available on mobile? So the answer is now it is not available on mobile. You can access these tools on your Phillip MT5 desktop. Okay, so how to download it, how to use it, it is as I demonstrated earlier on. Okay, the second question that our clients always have is, is it difficult or tedious to download the tool? And the answer is a big no. As I've demonstrated earlier also, within just a few clicks, you'll be able to have the tool up and running already, and just a restart of the PC or the restart of the MetaTrader 5, you already have that in your MT5. Okay, so I'd say it's very convenient and very easy to download. Okay, the third one is, do I have to pay for this plugin? I hope that by now you should know that these tools are all free for use. So as long as you have MT5, it is free for use. But the only catch here is that for Acuity Signal Centre, you need to have a live account. Okay, you need to have a live account to access and trade all the trade signals that we have. Okay, so I mean, as long as if you have a live account, it shouldn't be a problem. Everything is free for you to use. Okay, and then the last question that we have here is, where can I read more about the Acuity Signal Centre or the Trading Central tools? Is by going to our Phillip Nova website, go to Platform tab, and go to the Phillip MetaTrader 5 Suite page. Okay, so from there, you can just read all about these trading tools that we have. Okay, so I think now I'd also like to, but by the way, if in the event if there's any questions that you have, you could feel free to drop a message. And Sri, if you spot any questions, you could feel free to bounce them to me. Okay, but fret not. Like in the event if you have any questions after this webinar, you could write it to us, and of course we'll be sending you a recording of this session. So in any part of today's sharing session, right, to replay and rewatch, you could do that by the screen recording. Okay, so at this time, I'd like to share with you a gentle reminder that if you are an existing client with Phillip Nova, you can actually receive up to 66 US dollar or 88 Sing dollar if you refer a friend to us. Okay, so the criteria are very simple. You need to be an existing client. You refer a friend to us, and if your friend trade at least one lot within the 1 month or from account activation date, then you'd be entitled to this referral fee. Okay, and you can actually refer your friend via very conveniently via your client portal. Okay, to find out more about this this friend referral and the terms and conditions, you could scan this QR code right here. Okay, so and at this time, I'd also like to give a little spoiler to all of you here. As you may or may not have heard, Phillip Nova, actually we are celebrating our 40th anniversary this year. Okay, so we've been established here for 40 years. Okay, so starting in April, next month, we have planned a series of interesting or exciting activities, or rather promotions for existing clients, as well as for new people or new clients who have yet to join us. Okay, so I'm just giving you a very sneak peek right here. Something exciting is happening. So we do hope that you could stay tuned within our space, our social media, our email, because as soon as we have all the information, we will be sending out to you, and we hope that you could also take advantage of this as we celebrate our 40th anniversary. Okay, I'm just going to leave the screen on and provide a quick wrap up of today's sharing session. So basically today I have introduced to you the free trading tools that we have on Phillip MT5. The first one is Acuity Signal Centre. Secondly is a suite of tools by Trading Central. Okay, so I would say these different tools, they are applicable for different type of traders. So let's say if you're someone who are very experienced, you know what you're doing, you draw your own levels, and make your own analysis. Okay, you could use a tool like the Trading Central Analyst View. Simply drag and drop. You'll be able to seek a second opinion, a second professional opinion on the technical levels. Okay, and then you could also easily do some fundamental analysis with Trading Central Market Bus. And then lastly, you could also always use some fresh trade ideas using Acuity Signal Centre. Okay, so this is, let's say if you're experienced on trader. Okay, so let's say you are someone who's very new and still trying to try out, learn about this trading. So similarly, the same tools that I was mentioning about also applicable for someone who's learning. Okay, so for Acuity Signal Center, the pros have already given out the trade signals, the levels there, and they tell you what is the rationale behind them. So I think with enough time, with enough practice, I'm pretty sure you could pick up a thing or two. Then it becomes part of your own expertise. And secondly, also the Trading Central technical views. You just drag and drop. You already know what the support and resistance levels at. And I think across time, if you look at it enough, you'd just be better at spotting all these levels itself. Okay, and of course you could just work on those levels and plan your own trades accordingly. So entry, exit levels, the levels are all there. Okay, so it's really useful for you. Okay, so and then of course for people who are very busy, all of us we have a day job, so depending on what you do, we a QA Signal Center is a place where you could just go in, look at the trade signals, just click on a button, then you put in a pending order already. So I mean it's also very useful for people who don't have all day to sit by the PC and to plan the trades, right? So a QA Signal Center, the trade ideas that I give, very conveniently, you are able to follow and execute these trade signals. Okay, so I think with that, thank you very much for staying throughout your lunchtime on Friday. I am going to pass the time back to Sri, and I do hope that you guys have a pleasant weekend and hope to see you guys again. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Junkit, for the insightful sharing. Members of the audience, the conversation and learning does not end here. So if you have more questions for Junkit to address, please send them in the survey form at the end of the webinar. You've heard the sneak preview of the upcoming promotions that we have with Phillip Nova, and rest assured we'll bring you more details as the weeks go on. In the meantime, do not forget, you'll be rewarded when you refer a friend. All right, scan the QR code on the screen right now to be rewarded when you refer a friend to trade with Phillip Nova. Once again, thank you so much for being a wonderful audience. Thank you, Junkit, for the valuable insights. And we'll see you in our next live webinar. Have a good day ahead.